mess. But yes, again, Michael Cox is back in the news, and we're finding out that in a lawsuit filed against another police officer, there might be some issues with Michael Cox's integrity again. Did he lie? Did he cover something up? We're going to find out here from Boston 25 and see what the situation is. Then I'll remind you guys of what's at stake for Commissioner Michael Cox when it comes to Kelly Dever and him being placed on the Brady list. It's getting ugly here. Check this out.
Getting answers, uncovering the truth. Boston 25 News investigates.
Did a Boston police officer accused of lying get special treatment from the highest levels of the department? That's what a lawsuit obtained by 25 Investigates claims. Investigative reporter Ted Daniel has been working on this story for weeks, and as Ted explains, another Boston cop filed the lawsuit.
The suit was filed by veteran police captain Timothy Goggin. While working in the Internal Affairs Unit, Goggin determined a then rookie officer named Brian Augustine lied in a written report and an interview. Goggin's suit claims he was pressured to change his findings about Augustine years later. Brian Augustine has racked up quite the record since he was pinned as a police officer in 2018. 25 Investigates got his disciplinary history through a public records request. 13 internal affairs cases, 26 sustained violations.
Guys, we talked about this when we were covering the situation with William McNeil, the police officer that was involved in the altercation with William McNeil, although he may have been in the right. Something similar. This guy had a history of certain violations, a history of internal affairs cases, and we're looking at this guy, Brian Augustine. 13 internal affair cases, 26 sustained violations. I appreciate and love our law enforcement, and especially the good ones out there that do their job and have the utmost patience. But when you see something like this, how is this officer continuing to be on the police force? It doesn't make sense. I don't know how the union can stand behind something like this. It seems like it's something very simple to point out and very simple to fix. But nonetheless, it keeps happening. And here we are. Shout out to Ted Daniels for reporting on it.
Brian Augustine has racked up quite the record since he was pinned as a police officer in 2018. 25 Investigates got his disciplinary history through a public records request. 13 internal affairs cases, 26 sustained violations. Among the allegations, drag racing and association with criminals. Some of the violations here are minor, but some are pretty serious.
It's pretty pervasive.
Larry Smith is a former Massachusetts State Police investigator with a master's degree in law enforcement administration.
It starts within days of his graduation from the academy while he was on probation, and it seemed like it was pretty consistent throughout the next several years.
I mean, can't we get a separate company or organization? I mean, can we start a company that just vets police officers at a basic level? If you have this type of violation within days of you becoming an officer, what are we doing?
It seemed like it was pretty consistent throughout the next several years.
Augustine's first IA case is the subject of a lawsuit filed by Captain Timothy Goggin. Goggin and others determined that Augustine had been untruthful about a confrontation he had with a motorist in downtown Boston. Nearly 5 years later, and after he left the Internal Affairs Unit, Goggin alleges he got a call asking him to change his findings and remove any indication that Augustine lied.
Who was that call
Goggin
from?
alleges he was told the request was made on behalf of Police Commissioner Michael Cox.
Are you serious? Again? Of course, Michael Cox is going to deny this. We all know that already.
Untruthfulness is one of the most serious forms of misconduct a police officer can face. Goggin alleges he was told the finding would attract scrutiny from the state and potentially cost Augustine his career. Goggin included this internal memo to Commissioner Cox in his lawsuit. It shows untruthfulness in reports crossed out, the lesser charge, neglect of duty, handwritten next to it.
So you've got 4 superior officers that have already reviewed this report and signed off on. If that is in fact true, that's truly troubling, because why are you interfering with an internal affairs investigation that's already been resolved.
A Boston police spokesperson tells me the department is unable to comment on pending litigation. Goggin states that he refused to change the narrative he wrote about Augustine. As a result, he claims he faced retaliation and a year delay in a promotion he had been scheduled for. Augustine's record shows 8 of his internal affairs cases were settled 2 weeks before Goggin's lawsuit was filed. His punishment, a 15-day suspension and a last chance agreement, which is what it sounds like. We were unable to reach Augustine. Goggin's lawyer declined to provide a statement citing the pending litigation. For 25 Investigates, I'm Ted Daniel.
And again, he asked the right question. The question is why? Why does this keep happening? I mean, are these commissioners, are these chiefs just that lazy? Is it that hard to find police officers that we're going to say, maybe he kicked them one too many times. Let's just bring them on back in here. Maybe he shouldn't have cursed that person out and pushed them over. Just bring them on back in. It seems like it would be so simple to weed out these types of people, because I personally don't believe the police force is full of these type of gentlemen. But all you need is one. And then you got a situation like what happened with William McNeil. You got a situation what happened with George Floyd. You got a situation, however you feel about that. You got a situation that happened with et cetera, and so on and so forth. Like, you just need one Why are they continuing to allow this to happen? It doesn't make sense to me. Because you literally have to go into the forum and say, let's change this. Let's change this on and get this settled so we can move on and get this officer back out there. I don't understand it. And then we've got more about Commissioner Cox. This guy is just, he can't catch a break. Check this out from News 5 out there in Boston.
Right now at 6, we begin with breaking news. The Department of Justice suing Boston over its immigration policies. That lawsuit filed today in federal court also names Mayor Michelle Wu, Police Commissioner Michael Cox. It claims the Boston Trust Act, which prevents local police from cooperating with federal immigration enforcement, violates the Constitution. That lawsuit states that cities cannot obstruct the federal government from enforcing immigration laws. When that occurs, a city breaks the law. The city of Boston is doing just that. We have reached out to Mayor Wu tonight for a comment.
So, in case you guys missed it and you want to remember what this man said, I'm going to play this for you again because I think this is important, and we honestly need to bring this up multiple times a week until this gets solved. Not only there in Boston, but right here in Fulton County and wherever you are, because we can't keep allowing this type of conduct to happen with people that have the utmost power, people who are supposed to uphold the law. Michael Cox in 4K, lying.
Your name came up during the recent Karen Reed trial. You got a visit from Officer Kelly Dever. The defense implied that you influenced her testimony. Do you want to respond to that?
I have nothing to do with Karen Reed. Matter of fact, I didn't even know this person was associated with the Karen Reed case.
Stop the cap.
Alan Jackson's letter. Newly obtained evidence proves that Michael Cox knowingly misrepresented his involvement. On February 22nd of 2024, the FBI Boston's field office sent, this is the FBI sent Commissioner Cox an email explicitly referencing Dever and the Reed investigation. The email from Assistant Special Agent in Charge Stephen Kelleher to Cox said, just a reminder, the documents were released to the DA's office late last night. The officer we spoke about is Kelly Dever. A wise woman once said, no one is above the law. I guess we're going to have to see in this case when it comes to Michael Cox, because the evidence is starting to stack up. You have Ted Daniels over there doing some great work. What do y'all think is going to happen, if anything, moving forward? Is Michael Cox next? Will it be Higgins? Will it be Buchanan? This is wild, man.